We're going to start with the punch today. Marketers threaten boycott as NNPCL juggles petrol price. Picture story here. EFCC opposes Bello's bail application. Court remands ex-governor. Tragedy averted as tanker spills diesel in Lagos. Osun Airport APC projects panel clash over relocation. Reps to probe 8.4 trillion allegedly withheld by NNPCL. Tax panel to defend bill at state debates today. Finnish court sets May 2025 date for ECPA's trial. Tinubu to name new envoys after France, South Africa's visits. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Let me start with the human interest story. So to say a tragedy was averted as the tanker spilled its contents at the Apapa-Oshodi Expressway. The residents around, of course, were panicked, but thank God for prompt response and well-coordinated response by LASMA first, even long before the fire trucks got there. So this happened yesterday. They said that when it spilled its contents, LASMA got into action immediately, cordoned off the area, made sure they also directed traffic was still moving smoothly. People were, dissuaded from going to that area, and traffic was moving along well. And then the fire trucks came eventually. So, people were just really particularly impressed with how they handled it. And it shows, that when different agencies work together, it's for our better. Mrs. Shola Giwashi, the special advisor to the governor on transportation, she also said, he also said a few words, just happy with the way it was,
right.
It was handled and everything, and asked that everybody be, be careful, safety conscious, conscious as we move around Lagos.
Okay. Yes, so major headline here, good news and a bit of bad news. So the good news is that our refinery in Port Harcourt is now working, started working on Tuesday, and marketers have been talking about it. But they are saying that they may not buy from, NNPCL getting from the Port Harcourt refinery if it's costlier than what Dangote is selling. We know that Dangote had crashed its price to about 970 naira to a liter. That's what he's been selling to the marketers. But marketers are saying that it's even still within that price when they are importing. And there's a detail of how many tons that have been imported lately. I'm trying to get the number here. They said total sum of 78,800 metric tons, representing 105.67 million liters of petrol was imported into the country in the last 5 days, spanning from November 23rd to November 28th, because they found it cheaper. So they are saying that if the Port Harcourt refinery does not bring down its price, if it's not cheaper than Dangote's refinery, they will still boycott it and go to where they can get it cheaper, so that the consumers at the end of the day will be able to get something more affordable. But there's one of the people handling the Port Harcourt refineries have said that they've not even put the prices yet. So they don't know whether it will be cheaper or more expensive. That the marketers should just calm down.
They're all preempting the worst.
Wait if it will be cheaper.
I think this is the biggest news. I mean, we've been talking about this refinery for years, and I'm surprised that there's not so much
Nobody shouting.
They should be shouting and screaming about it. Everybody, in fact, the president should be dancing, everybody should be dancing, that Port Harcourt is finally working.
Let's see it work first.
There are too many grey areas that is bothering us. Number one is that the president had said Dangote himself should get the crude, and Dangote right now is buying crude outside. So which crude are we going to sell to foreigners? Which crude are we refining? So clear out those details so that we have clear peace of mind. Really.
But at least,
I'm happy.
Let's wait.
As far as I know, Port Harcourt have been working. What was the boy's name again? Ajuri. Promised us last.
So I think for me also,
so a year
I've
after,
from, let's say, unverified sources, they're saying that the refinery is not refining to PMS. Those are the things I need.
Those are the grey areas.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have the Kogi's and EFCC story. So finally, on Tuesday, the governor of Kogi, former governor Yaya Bello, presented himself at the EFCC headquarters, and they did not delay him. Within 24 hours, he was arraigned yesterday, and the EFCC counsel, Kemi Pinero, SAN, opposed his bail application. His lawyer tried as much as possible, but the sitting judge, Justice, let me say her name quickly, Justice Aneni adjourned the hearing to December 10, and ruled that he be remanded in EFCC custody along with the 2 other co-defendants who had earlier been arraigned. So we are looking at how the matter will go. They went into details. Kemi Pinero insisting that he should not be allowed to go back because, as it is, he's still in government, and he might most likely commit the offense again. And his defense lawyer opposing that, saying that he's not an habitual criminal. And yep, let's see how it goes.
So let me give you an update concerning the infamous tax reform bill we've been talking about for the past week. So today at plenary, according to Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, it will be debated, if you recall. There was a presentation by the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, and also Zacchaeus Adedeji, who's the Director General of the Budget Office and the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue. So quite a few of them came together to make a presentation to the House. Now the House will be debating it today. Hopefully, if they're able to get to a point, they can then move it to second reading. So hopefully they're able to pass the second reading. But we'll see how that goes, because there's been quite a lot of back and forth on this, on the ups and downs, on the good and the bad, of the pros and cons of this tax reform bill. But either way, the experts say that it's what we need to help us generate proper revenue for the country and ensure that people are not unduly taxed across the country. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Row in Senate over tax reform bill. Marwa charges NDLA personnel to remain focused in battle against drug cartels. Rep summons CBN bank CEOs over unverified POS operators. 110 billion naira fraud. Court remands Bello, others in EFCC custody. TUC demands improved working conditions and payment of wages, award arrears. FG spent 8.8 billion naira to fix vandalized power towers. And China-Nigeria trade value hit 7.4 trillion as at June, says Shetima. Okay.
Should I do the TUC story? Right. So at the yesterday at the 7th Registrar of Trade Unions annual national workshop, the TUC president Festus Osifo was represented by Mr. Tommy Okon, but he used the opportunity to call on the federal government to pay the remaining 3 months arrears of wage awards and review labor laws. In his words, he says, Minister, sir, permit me to say that you have come at a critical time. The basis of this, of having a very conducive environment and working in line with international best practices, is to ensure that we have a symbiotic relationship between government and workers. Use the opportunity to highlight the challenges of prompt salary payment, addressing workers' welfare, and reviewing the labor laws with the minister. I hope that this will be taken seriously. This is a very critical segment of our society, and it must be addressed.
Okay, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.